Hello everyone and welcome back to Deciphering Weather. In today's video we are tracking NWS 97L and its chances of becoming the next hurricane in the Atlantic Basin, moving into the Gulf of Mexico and potentially up the east coast of the United States. If you like detailed weather breakdowns, hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get all of my upcoming videos. So we're looking at the latest satellite image of the Atlantic Basin thanks to tropicaltidbits.com. For Thursday, August 1st, 2024. The black arrow is pointing towards NWS 97L as it's moving its way across the island of Hispaniola. Then behind it we have a tropical wave in the middle of the main development region by our purple arrow. Both of those are being monitored very closely for possible development. Here's the vorticity signature of both. You can see 97L is a lot more compact over the island of Hispaniola, and then we have our stretched out tropical wave in the middle of the main development region on the bottom right of your screen. So here's the latest satellite image of NWS 97L. The big thunderstorm cluster that you see over Haiti is where one of our trough axis is with this tropical wave, but you can see how we have a lot of thunderstorm convection to the north of that as well. That is key because potentially we could see that place where this storm can go. If it stays where the big thunderstorm cluster is over land, it will take longer for this system to develop. If the thunderstorm cluster to the north tries to form into a coherent low pressure system and is over water, we could see this form a little bit quicker into a closed low and potential tropical depression storm, and if it does so quicker, maybe even a hurricane as it gets into the Gulf of Mexico. If not, and it stays an open wave until the Gulf of Mexico because it's going over land, then we might not see the hurricane until later on. So we'll show you all the possibilities, but right now we have a 30% chance of this becoming a tropical system over the next 2 days and a 70% chance in the next 7 days. Here's the latest spaghetti track guidance models showing where this system can go. And you see we have two possibilities also. If this storm takes more of a track to the left, the western more tracks, it could potentially stall out. If it takes more of the eastern track, it could go up the east coast of the United States, but very slowly as well, dumping a lot of rain. And in terms of intensity, as you can see, we have a about 50-50 chance of seeing a hurricane or just a tropical storm form within the next 5 days, up to 7 days. So let's look at the GFS model. The black hexagon is 97L. Purple hexagon is our tropical wave in the middle of the main development region. Both of them beneath our huge Bermuda Azores high, which is our steering current through the tropics. As we look at the upper levels of the atmosphere, our black arrow is pointing towards a very weak upper level trough that is being weakened as we speak from 97L, developing an upper level ridge from all of our convection. So that's decreasing the wind shear environment and protecting its moisture bubble. So as we go 2 days from now to Saturday, August 3rd, the black hexagon is moving just to the north on this model run of the coastline of Cuba. Our purple tropical wave is still in the main development region, but NWS 97L in black has a fully enveloped upper level ridge overhead, meaning it's got a protective low wind shear environment, and its moisture bubble will be protected from the Saharan air layer that's surrounding the area. And with that, and the very warm waters in the Gulf of Mexico, we'll see a rapid intensification and tightening of the vorticity as it moves into the Eastern Gulf, only in 1 day's time to Sunday, August 4th, just east of the Tampa St. Pete area on this model run. There we see 1,001 millibar tropical storm knocking on the door of Florida, and it's moving northward because we have this upper level trough that's going to be working its way in the northern half of the eastern half of the country of the United States giving that valley, that break in the high pressure for this storm to escape to. But then you see it crosses over on the GFS model. It crosses over Florida in a 2-day time frame to day 5, Tuesday, August 6th, and it's now parked itself over the Gulf Stream off the Georgia and Carolina coastline. And here's where things can get tricky with the forecast this far out, because the trough is going to be leaving the storm behind. Another ridge is going to be setting up, as you can see by our black arrow and the pink coloring. That's going to slow this storm down. And if it's, like I said, if it takes more of that western track, it could stall in the Gulf of Mexico. Over here on the GFS model, it's saying it's going to stall off the east coast of the United States and slow down. So here, day 6, creeping along. Day 7, still creeping along, but because on this model run it's over water and the Gulf Stream, which is very warm at this point, a lot of energy, it deepens down to a 975 hurricane off the Carolina coastline. So potentially, this is one model run showing a hurricane potentially forming. If we look at the European model, we see that the European model takes this into the more open track mind, where it doesn't really develop until it gets over Florida and into the Gulf Stream waters there, but only as a tropical storm. And it's a 999 millibar low pressure system. So Florida, we get a lot of rain, but not a named system based on the European model, and a weak tropical storm off the Carolina coastline, not a hurricane in a week's time, as the GFS model is suggesting. Either scenario is going to dump a ton of rain over the Caribbean islands and Florida, especially if this system stalls off the North Carolina, South Carolina coastline. And if the system takes more of that western track, potentially those higher values in yellow could be over the panhandle of Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama coastlines in the Gulf Coast, if it takes that more western track and stalls in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So that all this is still up for determination. Here's the ensemble model spread, as you can see here. European model on the left, GFS on the right. The black hexagon is showing all the possibilities of where, over the next 7 days, Invest 97L could go and how strong it can get. And then we have that purple tropical wave also, as you can see, a little aggressive on the European model, moving into the eastern Gulf of Mexico with some 2 red lines there. That's indicating another potential hurricane forming. GFS is not quite on board again, but we saw this with 97L. It was a week ago that the European model was showing that this 97L was going to become a possibility. And now we're a week out again with the European model saying, hey, check out this tropical wave. It might develop too. GFS wasn't on board in the beginning with 97L, but now it is. So we'll keep an eye on it, see if GFS comes on in line with this purple tropical wave as well. But this isn't it, because behind that purple tropical wave, we have several more tropical waves over Africa, as we've been saying in videos for the past 2 weeks now, that the eastern tropical waves were going to start coming because we have this rising air over Africa. And in 10 days' time, we could have 2 more tropical waves trying to develop in the main development region on approach to the Caribbean islands, especially based on the European model. A couple of hints on it in the GFS, but not quite on as board. So again, European model, if it's like 97L, is suggesting we are going to have an active period between now and the next 10 days starting to come alive. As you can see also, that purple wave makes its way towards the Gulf of Mexico behind 97L in 10 days time as well. So we'll keep an eye on 97L, but hopefully it does not stall and just goes right back out to sea, doesn't become a hurricane, doesn't cause any big impacts, at worst flooding potentially, but we'll keep an eye on it. And then we'll keep an eye on all these tropical waves as they come off the coast of Africa, and if they pose any threat to the Caribbean islands. As a reminder, we have super thanks available on Deciphering Weather, so if you'd like to donate to the channel, please go down to the heart button where it says thanks. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and leave a comment. Please share this video with your family and friends on social media. And if you need one like detailed with the breakdowns, hit the subscribe button and notification bell to get all of my upcoming videos. Thank you and have a great day.